So on this page, I just want you to practice a couple quick graph things and help you visualize some problems that I think some of us are still struggling with a bit. So first of all, I just want us to graph the line negative 3x plus 5y equals 10. And probably the most convenient way for me to do this is to transform this into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to do that I'm going to begin doing that by adding 3x to both sides. So this equation becomes 5 times y equals 3x plus 10. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/5. And when I do that, on the left-hand side, I end up just getting y, right? 5 times 1/5 is 1, so that's just a y. Over on the other side, you can see that there are two terms here, and I need to distribute this 1/5 to each of the terms. So I'm going to get 3 times 1/5, which is 3/5 x, and then 1/5 times 10 is just simply the number 2. So this transforms into the equation y equals 3/5 x plus 2. And to graph that, it's pretty straightforward, right? I've got a y-intercept that occurs at 2. And then from there, I'm just going to follow this slope pattern of going up 1, 2, 3 units, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So this is another point that's on the graph. And then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So at that point, with the three values there, just kind of grab your straight edge, line it up with those 3 points, and then just draw the line that goes through those. That was awful. I apologize. I don't have a decent ruler here. Okay. So the next question is, I've got I want you to draw this line, but I also want you to come up with the equation of it, the line that's perpendicular to this line to the left. So remember, if a line, anytime I take and I look at perpendicular lines, right, a rotation's happening on the Cartesian coordinate plane, and I can visualize this by rotating this entire plane through 90 degrees. And when I do that, I currently have this slope pattern of up 3 and then over 5. But when I rotate through 90 degrees, that slope triangle changes. It's no longer up 3 over 5. It's going to actually become, if I visualize, it's going to become down 5 and then to the right 3. So taking this triangle and rotating that triangle 90 degrees produces a different slope. Right, the slope is different. So always be thinking about that. How does the slope change? Well, it becomes the reciprocal, and it also becomes opposite in sign. So this slope triangle that I had becomes a slope triangle down 5 over 3. So I've got this slope of negative 5/3. And I'm also going through this point 5 and then up to the point 7. So over to 5 and up to 7. Okay. And I can see this is going to be, I'm not going to be able to find the y-intercept because it's going to go off the scale, but at least I'll see where it's at approximately. So from here I can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, and then over 1, 2, and 3. And I can't even go down another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, and then over 1, 2. And somewhere over here is 3. So if I grab my straight edge and line it up, you can see that I know that my y-intercept is definitely a positive number. And if I'm estimating, I'd say maybe somewhere around 15 or something like that. But I don't know. But that's okay because we have a mechanism for figuring that out. So I can write this slope intercept form of a linear equation. So y equals mx plus b. And I can use the x and the y value from the point that I have, and I can use the slope that I have because it's perpendicular to that other line. So if I'm looking at this, my y value from my point is 7. My slope is negative 5/3. And I'm going to be multiplying that by the number let's see, x is 5. I'm going to be multiplying that by 5 and then plus b. So you can see what we're in for. It's not a pretty number. I'll rewrite this as 7 equals negative 25 thirds plus b. And if I add 25 thirds to both sides, 7 plus 25 thirds is b. Not entirely necessary, but you could, let me grab this here. You could grab your you can grab your equation and you can ask it to, oh, I've got two of these equation or calculators. You can grab your calculator and ask it to do the addition here. So I'm going to just say 7 plus, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the fraction template and go with 25 over 3. And when I do that, I get exactly 46 thirds. And that is the most simplified version. There's no, wait a minute, 46? I can't divide 46 by 3 evenly? No, I can't. I can divide it by 2, but not by 3. So that's the simplified version. By the way, you don't have to use a calculator, right? This number 7, I could multiply this 7 over 1 times 3 over 3 and get 21 thirds plus 25 thirds. And when I add the 21 and 25, that's where I do get the 46. So it's 46 thirds. So I've got right here my y-intercept, and the equation of this line is y equals negative 5 thirds x plus 46 thirds.